Conference matchup as the Highlanders of NJIT are in search of its first win of the year, while the number 16 ranked Ball State Cardinals try to remain unbeaten in 2026. And with that, we welcome you in alongside Tucker Bidding. I'm Jaron Matheny. So glad that you are with us on this Saturday night. Tucker, NJIT, a loaded schedule to begin the year. Ball State with their first real test today. Should be a fun one.
Yeah, NJIT plays it the best environment in college men's volleyball there to open at Hawaii. Maybe one of the best environments in college athletics, period, and then goes to Ohio State. So they've certainly been tested early. This will be the first good test, I think, for the Cardinals here tonight. And
we'll see what both these teams have in store for us. Let's dig into our players to watch. Starting first for NJIT, Andre Aleixo. He has been spectacular in his true freshman season.
Yeah, the first-year guy from Brazil really coming in and making an impact early. He's their leader in kills and points to start. Had a couple nice matches against Hawaii last weekend, so I'd look for the Highlanders to get him the ball early and often here tonight.
We'll see if they can do that. On the other side, Ryan Lewis, the sophomore from Arizona, off a career-high 25 kills.
Yeah, what a night last night. 25 kills in 4 sets, hit over 500, excuse me. Everybody knows the name Pat Rogers. He's obviously one of the best players in America, but I think Ryan Lewis could end up by the end of the season being one of the best opposite attackers in the entire country.
Well, Ryan Lewis, a heck of a night last night, career high 25 kills for the sophomore. Let's check out our starting rotations. We begin with NJIT. We mentioned Aleixo, but a little bit of a change for Coach Goncalves. He turns to Adam Urinyuk at the center position, Tucker.
Yeah, a little different look. Certainly early on in the season, you get non-conference games. They've got some great opponents here they've played already. Probably just trying to get a different look, see if they can get some rhythm going, especially offensively.
Andrew Fedmasu rounds out that rotation. And now for the Ball State Cardinals, similar to what they've run out so far this season, Braden Savitsky-Lynn, Patrick Rogers, opposite and outside. Boy, are they special.
Yeah, those guys are, they're a really great duo. They're, again, Rogers, everybody knows him. You know, he's a great talent, but Basilio is a high-level volleyball player, unbelievable IQ, brings a ton to this team. So it'll be good to see him get in the mix more consistently this year, and certainly you've seen him thus far.
Adir Ben Schluch, the starter at libero for Ball State. On the other side, Diego Lopez gets the start at libero for NJIT. We are ready to go and off and running, Highlanders and Cardinals. And the first point belongs to Ball State. NJIT going to Aleixo right off the jump.
Yeah, good handle on the thing. All options going there for NJIT. Lewis gets his hands in there. Good stuff. Gets a little touch, hits the antenna. Ball State starts out there with the first point of the match.
Lucas Machado, 22 aces a season ago from the service line, and NJIT punches right back.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of Alex Hines so far, but comes in again. NJIT handles that pass. Machado can get the serve going pretty well. Handled both those. Able to run that ball right up the middle. Good kill there for the Highlanders.
Freshman setter Urinyuk serves it. Ben Schluch going outside for Ball State. This one hits the line, point Cardinals. And it's 2-1 Ball State. Different change for Coach Goncalves with Urinyuk in the match. He only had 3 assists last night against Ohio State.
Yeah, we'll see. Again, you know, they haven't had a ton of offensive rhythm or consistently been able to score well from all areas. So, again, setters can be a big part of that. So probably trying to get a different look for his offense tonight, see if they can get something going.
Chance to set. Looking out for Nowak. Basilio, point Ball State, and a good start for the Cardinals. And what you want to see, Tucker, is efficient offense for Ball State and some consistency as we turn to our keys to the match.
Yeah, really great job there. We talked about it, I think, you know, for Ball State, trying to get some more offense in the middle of the court. You know who the pins are. They've done a great job. And, you know, for NJIT, we talked about it with the change at the setter position, trying to find some rhythm and some consistency there for them as well. So we'll see if those guys can do what they need to do to try to find some answers early here.
Patrick Rogers, the list goes on and on with all of his accolades, but he picks up the ace. 33 last season for Rogers. This is a Ball State team that wants to serve very aggressively.
Yeah, and you're going to see a mix from him. You're going to see the same toss, but he'll mix it up. He'll rip one. He'll hit a float serve out of it. He'll try to chop it and put it in front of him. So he'll certainly mix that serve up.
Alacia goes to the offhand, pushes it off the block. Andre Alacia just joined the NJIT team at semester break, and he's been the best player on the floor as far as attacking goes this year for the Highlanders.
Yeah, new world here. We can get anybody in at any time, but he's done a really nice job for them. As we talked about it in the outset, he's been their top point getter, and you saw him there early score that one.
Well, Ball State gets that point. What'd you see at the net there, Tucker?
Well, I was sitting right behind R1, so it's really hard to see. Machado's back row, I'm hard-pressed to believe he got that ball before NJIT touched it here.
And that
Maybe
conversation,
we'll get a look here, but I don't know. Doesn't look like we're going to have any argument. He must have got it before they touched it. That ball goes over the plane when he's back row. NJIT has a right to it, so interesting there, but no challenge, no argument too much from NJIT's bench.
Erasing that last point, Victor Nowak, 178 kills last season. He's one of their main returners this year.
Yeah, I think they're going to look to him to carry a pretty large portion of the offense. And certainly if you look at the set distribution over the first 3 matches, they've gone to him a lot. He's had some trouble finding some good consistent rhythm, but he's a big physical player with a good arm. So I'm interested to see if he can get something started here today.
Huge swing. Ball State, that is men's volleyball at its highest level right there. Just an absolute rocket.
Yeah, they call this, and that's a gap or a push on the Bick attack here. So the Bick attack is this fast back row attack they run it in the gap there. Really puts a lot of pressure on the opposing blocker, and Pat Rogers hits it as well as anybody in the country.
Joust at the net. Ball State going to be awarded that point. NJIT not happy with the first couple of plays at the net so far.
Yeah, and there's where I thought maybe they would have called it like the one we had earlier. NJIT's got a back row setter there. Again, ball gets to the plane. Ball State has a right to it. So curious there how those first 2 got called. That one certainly looked like it was the right call.
Ryan Lewis serves once again and serves the ace, and the Cardinals have been really good from the service line in the opening 11 points.
Yeah, I think Coach Eindal is going to like this service consistency and pressure here out of the gate, doing a good job not only keeping it in, but Lewis put some heat on that thing. That high, deep ball is so hard to pass. Get an early timeout here from NJIT.
Head coach Danny Goncalves wants to talk things over with his team. Ball State, couple of aces early on. Cardinals lead by 5 early in the first. Well, the first-year head coach got to be pretty happy with his team's effort so far. Ball State 4 for 4 on the attack, and they've got a couple of service aces as well as we welcome you back to Muncie. Lewis serves out of the NJIT timeout, and that service pressure continues to be immense for the Cardinals.
Another good one there, a little mix. It comes across the court, hits a little cut, going away from Alacia there, and Lewis gets another ace here early for the Cards.
Lewis only played 54 sets last season for Ball State in his true freshman campaign. That one kissed off the block. Gerard has the kill. Had just one attack last night against Ohio State. He's got a kill in the first set here.
Yeah, nice job there from Gerard. It'll be interesting to see. Again, we've got a different mix of people here for NJIT, so I'm excited. I like seeing new guys getting the opportunities, especially early on in the season. So it'll be good to see here.
You know, they've gone with a relatively young roster through the first 3 matches of the season. Basilio pounds one home, and Ball State remains perfect on the attack, 5 for 5.
A good run there again. Ball State handles that pass, not a ton of pressure. Going pretty close to the pin. Get a one-on-one there. Basilio, no, we're going to take care of that. So, again, just as you said, good job here from the Cardinals early on, staying consistent, playing clean.
Basilio, double-digit kills last night. Good swipe down, and the point. Urinyuk, the setter, takes advantage and gets one.
Yeah, you see in the men's game, they play tighter to the net. Those guys can go a little more vertical. Nice job there. Being a little deceptive. Putting that thing down, giving the Highlanders a point, another chance to go back to the service line.
Good first touch. Sets up the rest for Ball State. Savitsky Lynn the kill.
Deersluis there, getting in a lot of rhythm in that libero spot. He's laid some in there early. And again, Ball State, they played clean, but man, they've handled about every serve that NJIT's thrown at them so far here. So we'll see if the Cards can continue that.
Savitsky, Lynn, just off his hand on that serve. It does feel like Ball State's a little bit more locked in tonight here in set number 1 than they were last night.
Yeah, I would assume that Coach Iandalo had a conversation with those guys last night or today about making sure they come out with some consistency and some focus in that first set after they lost the first one last night.
An error for an error as Fed Musu couldn't get that one over the net. He's really the only senior that's seen action so far for NJIT this season.
Yeah, younger roster. Certainly, I think they graduated their top couple point scorers from last season, so we're seeing a lot of new faces here from the Highlanders.
Over and then back down. Lewis with another kill. 7 attacks, 7 kills for Ball State in this opening set.
And again, some good service pressure. Ball State's had a couple of those where they've got some overpass, easy kills there. Lewis takes care of it for the Cardinals.
Alicia, cross court, good. And picks up the point for NJIT. Alicia with his second point.
A nice little shot there, passes off the net, didn't have a lot to do with it. Not really sure Shlush saw that thing out. It was in by quite a bit though, but a nice shot there. Didn't have a lot he could do with that. Finds a good spot on the court, gets the kill for NJIT.
Serve just long on the other side, so Ball State doubled up on NJIT. Set 1 action. And really for the Highlanders, they just got to get Andre Alicia some more help. Through the early portion of the season, he has led the Highlanders in kills all 3 matches. Right down the gut. Good response for NJIT.
Yeah, and right on cue there, he said, need some help from the offense. NJIT lays one in there. Hines gets a nice swing, gets a kill for NJIT. Sends Alicia back to the service line.
So Hines with these 2 early kills in the first set. That serve is way long. He's already matched his career high with 2 kills for the freshman Hines. So it just shows you, get somebody new on the floor, maybe you find a little bit of offensive rhythm, and certainly Coach Goncalves is thinking that. Charette serve. Alicia tips over. Machado passed it off for Lewis. Nowak, point NJIT.
Nice swing by Nowak. Rogers got to do a better job on that. They get a kind of easy free ball there, and they want to pass it tight so that Machado can play there on the net, but when he's back row, doesn't have as much of an opportunity to be offensive and attack at the net. They don't get a good swing out of that thing, end up having to give an easy one to NJIT. They do a good job, credit to them, taking advantage of the opportunity there.
Machado goes behind him this time, back set to Lewis for the point.
Yeah, great shot there. Again, Ball State doing a really nice job handling that ball. NJIT has not done a great job of consistently pressuring people from the service line thus far. And you're seeing it here early. Ball State's just been laying that ball in there, giving them an opportunity to have one-on-ones or, you know, 1-on-1 and a half, and that's a tough thing to defend with these pin attackers from Ball State.
Lewis already with 3 kills. Nowak kisses it off the blockers and gets the point. So he's been the leader, at least so far, for NJIT, and a little bit more spread out attack for the Highlanders.
Yeah, and I'll say this, I'll give them credit. They've taken some better swings when they've not been in great situations. That's a tough one. Ball State goes over, tries to triple block. He hits one kind of high off the outside of the hand, but they've done a nice job of not making errors when they've been in bad situations.
Machado back to Lewis, and Tidhar was in pretty good position, maybe just needed to take half a step back.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if you're a Ball State fan out there and you have not got to watch Ryan Lewis play, welcome to the show. He didn't play a lot last year, played behind a 5th-year transfer. Rajay, who was from Quincy previously, was great. But Ryan Lewis is a real deal, and you're going to see it here for the Cardinals.
Good serve from Basilio. And the Ball State block nearly had it. Another chance, it's Rogers. Heck of an athletic play there by Patrick Rogers.
It's a lot of playing grass in the summer, seeing a ball somewhere and going and getting it. Pat Rogers, great volleyball player, great IQ, sees that thing, doesn't want to give anybody else a chance, takes an opportunity,
and
gets
playing
that kill.
Against NJIT, the New Jersey native, and certainly Coach Goncalves took a look at him as they were coming in. He said that, hey, he's still there, he's their big pin hitter, and boy, has he gotten a lot better over the course of the past couple of years, too. Trying to worry about what NJIT is doing in this match more than what Ball State does, but certainly Rogers is the one that everybody is circling when they're getting ready to take on Ball State, at least to start the year.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we talked about from the outset, I mean, he's one of the best all-around volleyball players in the country. I mean, you're going to hear a lot of different names. There's certainly some high-profile guys, especially out on the West Coast, but Pat was in the USA gym this summer. Played for them, was an MVP of one of the tournaments that he played in, and I would anticipate after a good season, not only getting a contract to go play pro overseas, but that he will absolutely get an opportunity to be back in that USA gym. So he is certainly the real deal. He's kind of the engine that makes this things go for the Cardinals.
Preseason player of the year in the conference coming in to this season, and that USA gym is starting to get more full with Ball State talent. Caleb Jennis, Quinn Isaacson, those are the two names that kind of jumped to the top of my head when we were thinking about Ball State and the US team. And another one to add to the list with Patrick Rogers as Basilio serves out of the second NJIT timeout. Big block attempt, slowed it down. Machado, and the push from Rogers finds a home. Point Cardinals.
Yeah, nice job there. Ball State gets a good touch, find a way to make something out of it. Rogers, you're going to see that often. He's going to get crafty on some of those balls. He likes to touch it and throw it off the block or try to go up swinging. You see it there, kind of lays it over two-handed just around the block.
Alicia with a first touch. Gerard winds it up, but too far. And the Cardinals again doubled up on NJIT. Just 5 points to get for Ball State late in the first.
Good pressure from Basilio from the service line. Again, NJIT passing that ball off the net. Just haven't had an opportunity to get a lot of quality swings yet thus far.
That one just missed as well. Fedmusu a little bit wide to the near side, and you know, you talked about it, Tucker. Not a terrible hitting percentage right now for NJIT at 222, but Ball State's hitting above 900 in this set.
Yeah, it's just pretty crazy. They may end up breaking a single set record. I would assume they're probably close to it, if not way above it. But yeah, I mean, there they, again, NJIT gets an opportunity, just make an error there, trying to take a good swing.
And another, Basilio the kill this time. And really no answers right now for NJIT.
Yeah, NJIT gets a good pass. They get a misconnection on that D ball back to Novak back there, and Ball State gets an opportunity, and they get to run it back down at the Highlanders.
Gerard is blocked. Machado alongside Savitsky Lynn, but I think Machado got all of that one.
Yeah, I don't think Braden's going to get a half a block for that, so he can tell Machado thank you later. But Lucas all over that ball, just put the clamps on Gerard there.
Oh, yeah. Dumped right back down, Machado kill. It is set point already for Ball State.
Again, we talked about it, I think had to have been a focus to come out, be dialed in, putting the pressure on NJIT as much as they can. Ball State's certainly done it in all phases here as they go back to serve for set point, up 14.
Back row, Alicia. Cards track it down. Machado sets. Just long on the swing from Lewis, nearly ending that first set. Stopped an 8-0 scoring run from Ball State. Set point 2 for the Cards. Gerard serve. Machado tried to dump down, he got blocked. Stuffed by Alicia that time. They'll keep dancing here in Muncie. Set point 3. And the Highlanders continue to battle, and right now, you gotta feel like Coach Goncalves is thinking, okay, at least we've got some sort of momentum going to set 2.
Yeah, and I think Coach Eindall is probably telling these guys to finish this thing. Again, trying to get back. They had a good pass on the first one. Machado just gets stuffed, but we need to lay this thing in there, get this set over with, make sure NJIT doesn't feel like they've got any rhythm going into the second.
Set point 4. Outside, Rogers, count it, and Ball State takes the opening set. Cardinals hit about 700 there in set 1. Great start for Ball State. Rogers and Lewis each with 4 kills, 688 hit percentage in the opening set of action for the Cardinals. State, number 16 in the country, leading NJIT, who was just outside the top 20 in the preseason poll. Jeremy Thiener, Tucker Bidding, glad to be with you. And Tucker, you've been around Coach more than I have. What do you feel like the biggest difference is for this year's Ball State team after he just had that interim tag removed at the end of December?
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a pretty good transition from Coach Cruz to Mike. I think, you know, the guys respect him a lot. It was no surprise when they removed that tag. Thought that could have been done, you know, when they did it. Certainly there's some things that go on with that where a lot of times people will go from interim to full-time head coach in that transition. But Mike has a great amount of respect from his team, and certainly knows and understands and can teach the game at a high level. Mike was a great player in his college days and played a little bit professionally, was in the USA gym when he was an athlete, and so he's just got a great understanding of the game. I think he teaches it really well. The vibes in their gym are great, so I think I expect a lot from these guys, just as we've done the last few years. They've got a lot returning, and certainly I think he's trying to get a good understanding early on here of what these guys are going to be as they get closer and closer to that conference season.
Now his 5th season overall at Ball State. Not the first time he's been a head coach, was at the University of Charleston in West Virginia, and then actually coached against Coach Goncalves on the other side in the EIVA. They played against each other professionally as well, so these two guys know each other. Yeah,
Mike's really well connected, and certainly, you know, he had head coaching experience, so I think that's been helpful in that transition. And then, you know, he goes and one of the guys he hires, Brian Hogue, he was a head coach previously and has given him a lot of help in sports. Helpful to have those people who've been head coaches previously when you're starting out. So, yeah, they've done a great job so far, and certainly they're trying to put a emphasis on making sure that they're starting the right way in these matches. Certainly they did tonight.
Dropped the first set last night, if you missed it, to Missouri S&T, and then won sets 2 through 4 pretty emphatically. But a much better start tonight for this Ball State group as Machado in the joust, but it's going to be a point for NJIT. Great effort from the Ball State setter.
Yeah, I think Machado's just in the net there. Again, those balls, and you see that's the difference. So Machado's a front row player right now, so that ball goes over the net. He can go up and try to win that, throw that down. Does his best against Big Victor Novak there from NJIT, but in the net, gives the point to the Highlanders.
Kept alive. We get a partial touch on the way out. No, it is a Ball State point. What does NJIT need to do differently here in set 2?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I'm going to talk like I'm in the women's game here, but they've got to do a better job in serve and pass. Really no pressure from the service line to speak of, except for the very end of that set. And then really didn't do a great job of handling the Ball State serve. They were off the net a lot. Gave Ball State a lot of opportunity to set up a good block and also to be able to dig some balls and run that ball back at them in transition. So they need to really, I think, handle that ball, put some more pressure, because Ball State has all their options really hard to defend.
Hines picked up that last point for the Highlanders. Ron Tidhar at libero in the match. This is Alicia with the serve. Knocked outside for Rogers, and he'll go off speed and get the point.
You see that in what most people call rotation one. Setters in that right back position. A lot of time the outside will pass in row one and then hit on that right side. You see Rogers normally hits on the left side in that rotation. Goes a little off speed, finds a spot in the middle of the point for the point.
Nowak goes up, sends it through. Just a sophomore, but he's one of the more experienced players on this Highlander roster.
Yeah, he's done a nice job tonight. I think that's the second or third time. He's not tried to go straight down, find the outside or top of that block. He's had a couple of tooled kills there against the Cardinals, gets another one, helps NJIT take the lead back.
And much better start from NJIT. Fedmusu, two hands back down to the floor. And doubled up are the Highlanders on the Cardinals.
Yeah. Nice little mix there, just kind of drops it short. Looked like there was a little miscommunication on the Ball State side there. Rogers with a kind of an errant overpass there on an easier ball. Gives NJIT an opportunity and they get the point.
Basilio trying to spin it down the near side and misses. And now, when we talked about Ball State was hitting close to 700 at the end of that first set. Not quite as clean right now.
And credit to NJIT, they're just doing something different on the serve. Wasn't working as well in that first set. They're hitting some short balls, changing up a little bit here, and forcing Ball State to have to do something different. And you see a couple errant passes there from Ball State. NJIT getting another opportunity here.
Erasing a 3-0 run there is that Ball State block. Gonna need things like that if you're the Cardinals to continue throughout this match.
Yeah, nice job there by Surratt to close that. But again, you saw that did not handle that first ball well. They still get a little bit of a swing and do a nice job there getting that block. But NJIT may have found something. You may see them mix in some of that off-speed serve here as we go through the second set.
Another block for Ball State. They've come to play up front so far.
Yeah, nice job there. Lewis staying in and helping Savitsky Lynn back in there on the court. They do a good job. NJIT tries to run this quick set from about 10 feet off. It's a tougher angle. Savitsky Lynn stays in there, gets his stuff.
Charette with the high toss. And the first real service mistake we've seen here in set two. Ball State serving as aggressively as they did in that opening set, had 3 aces and just 1 error.
Yeah, in the men's game, if you're on the plus side of things or even, you're in a really, really good spot there. So Ball State certainly got some help from the service line that first set.
And we trade service errors here early in the second with Ball State leading 1-0. You know, NJIT 0-3 on the season, but opened the year 2 matches on the road at Hawaii and then at Ohio State, so it's been only ranked competition for this group so far.
Yeah, those are big-time matchups. I mean, you talk about level of play, environments, experience. I mean, that's a lot of that's a difficult early seed schedule. Then they've got to come here to play Ball State. So, yeah, good challenges for NJIT. And speaking of that, we're going to get our first challenge here.
We will get our first challenge from Coach Goncalves as they'll take a look at the last point. Thought maybe his side got that point. We'll go to review here and check it out. Looks to me like maybe a Ball State arm touched the antenna.
Yeah, I would assume it looks like here, yeah, from the view. Yeah.
Maybe just grazed, and that is what.
It doesn't look like it was NJIT. Certainly somebody hit it. That net cam, you could see it a little better. Yeah, Machado's arm there, just hit it, trying to swipe back in.
So think we'll have a reversal of the point here potentially. But we'll see as the officials continue to take a look at it. NJIT 14-13 last season, went 8-4 in the conference. They played 10 matches against ranked teams a season ago, went 2-8. One of those wins coming against conference rival Penn State, who was number 19 at the time. So, you know, this is a group that is always competitive year in and year out as we get another look at it. So Machado going up against Urinyuk. And does that. Forearm graze the antenna. Hard to tell.
It's hard to tell on some of those G's, but you can certainly see it moving, and NJIT's not close to it. So we've got to assume
right.
That was Machado, but
they'll continue to check it out. Coach Goncalves now in his 11th season overall at NJIT. 124 wins, 145 losses. He was the coach of the year in the conference back 2021. Played professionally in Portugal and had a great conversation with him earlier this week. He was the first coach to lead NJIT into the top 10 back in 2021. They reached their highest point. And hoping that he's got a reversal here, which he does. So Point Highlanders and NJIT will go in front by 2 off the successful challenge from Coach Goncalves.
Yeah, good challenge there. He saw it right away. You can certainly, from his view, pretty easy there from where he was. So good challenge, good use of that. NJIT is going to get another 2-point spread here and back to the service line for the Highlanders.
Parker Moorhead serving. Machado back, and it is a Ball State point.
And Ball State handling that ball a little quicker probably than what Lewis would have wanted there on that back row D ball, but he does a nice job hitting flat deep. Gets that ball to rest just inside the corner for a point.
Basilio serves the air. And again, Ball State was not as good as you can be, especially in the men's game in that first set with going 3-1 in the ace to air ratio. Still hitting 500 for the match right now. And we've got a brief pause as it looks like Lewis may be getting a bandage on his right hand. Back onto the floor is Lewis, but just a quick little medical pause there. His right hand, there it is, just taped it up on the middle finger there. May have gotten a slight cut. And now just trying to make sure everybody else is okay. All right, back to action. Fedmuso. Rogers had a second swing at it and made it count.
Yeah, and he takes one in off the chest there. Digs it, gets right back into it. Gets the kill.
Savitsky Lind, 5 kills in each of the first 2 matches this season for Ball State. Kissed that one off the tape. And there's the Ball State block. Again, they are making the biggest impact here on set 2.
Yeah, nice job there, Savitsky Lind. Gonna go his wrist away there. Cuts one, it's a little tougher pass. Ball State can get 3 up on that block. Looks like Surratt's the one that ended up getting it, but a nice job there. Ball State taking advantage. That ball off the net.
5.5 total blocks, as you just saw already for the Cardinals. Alacia sends it straight down to the floor, and Andre with his 4th kill.
Yeah, there you see NJIT, they're handling that ball. Good pass, they've got all the options. Machado a little late, staying in there to help on the middle, a little late getting out to the outside there. Alacia just throws it down for the Highlanders.
Urinyuk with a nice serve. He sets, and Alacia will get that point as well. So back-to-back points for number 2 for NJIT. Freshman from Brazil, 6'4". He had 10 kills against Hawaii in that second match. Back row attack and a beauty for Ball State. Basilio picks up another kill.
Nice run there, get a good pass. Ball State's got all options. You can see Basilio's unblocked there. Just running that big, just a little bit left to center. NJIT's middle goes up. Basilio's wide open there, rips that kill for the Cardinals.
Little lackluster there from Ball State. That one didn't have a ton of zip, but found the right spot.
Now Basilio moving, just not in a good position. Lets that off speed go.
So Alicia hitting 300, 5 kills, 2 errors so far. Machado out for Rogers. He goes down the line and good. They're challenging Ron Tidhar right now.
Yeah, certainly trying to find some rhythm here, get the offense kind of moving again. Machado goes back to his guy. Rogers does a nice job there. That's a tough ball to hit down the line when that's coming from across the court, but Rogers makes it look easy there, gives the Cardinals a point.
Tried to throw it off the block there for Lewis. Another opportunity for the Cardinals on the attack. Basilio. Rally continues. And an attack error. Nobody touched it for NJIT.
Yeah, kind of a little bang bang there. That first swing, Basilio didn't get much on, gets a good touch back, but Rogers has to play it. Machado's got to go right back to Basilio. Tries to go high hands there and just misses.
That one a little bit more difficult for Ball State. NJIT leading by 2. Basilio, they go back to him, and he makes up for the previous mistake.
A nice swing there, ball a little bit past him. Does a nice job keeping that ball high. Just hits a good shot, even though he wasn't in great rhythm there. Nice job for the Cards. Again, Cardinals need to get some rhythm going here. NJIT's been able to side out and keep a little bit of a lead here, so we'll see if Ball State can get some more rhythm going from the service line like they had in the first set.
Nowak too wide. He was looking for a touch, and it appears we may get another challenge here from NJIT. And yes, we will. So Coach Goncalves will talk with his group, and we'll have another challenge upcoming from the Highlanders, looking for a touch here off this swing from Victor Nowak. Couple of hands up there for Ball State, but
yeah.
Maybe got a touch on the outside block there, Savitsky Lind.
Yeah, it would have been it's hard to tell.
Tough, yeah.
I'll say whenever I watch other people on a broadcast and they make definitive statements about things that are not definitive, I'm always a little cautious when I'm on here. If it got something, it looks like one of the thumbs maybe on that one of Savitsky Lind's hands there. Might get a better view here. Yeah.
They will overturn
like
this.
That inside hand.
Yeah. Got
a little piece. No argument from the Cardinals here. So good call. Again, 2 for 2 there on the review from NJIT.
And you know, you look at the scoreboard, those are huge points in this second set with NJIT already trailing 1-0. Tidhar calls for it. And this one does eventually find the court. Nowak again.
They got a nice swing high off the hands. Ball State a little miscommunication there between Machado and Savitsky-Lin on that first ball. Again, just have not been as clean as what they were in the first set. But credit to NJIT taking advantage. They've done a really nice job. They put more pressure from the service line, and they've cleaned up. They've gotten these extra opportunities, and they've been taking advantage of them. That's why they have a 3-point lead here in the second.
Highlanders still yet to win a set so far this season. But of course, as we talked about, 2 matches at number 2 Hawaii, then at number 14 Ohio State, now number 16 Ball State with a big block. Basilio comes up with a rejection for the Cardinals.
Yeah, Ball State, nice job there because they got the situation where they kind of had to give a somewhat of a free ball, down ball kind of from Machado there on a kind of a bang-bang, and they do a nice job. He puts it in the middle of the court, forces NJIT out of system, and then the block gets across, gets a stuff for the Cardinals.
Nowak, back-to-back blocks for this Ball State front, and that time Machado looked like he got his hands on it.
Yeah, nice job again. Ball State doing as much as they can. You'll see that way more in the men's game. They get an opportunity, they'll get 3 people up. Novak hits a low seam, doesn't go high like he's been doing. Ball State gets across, gets the stuff there, second one in a row.
Another strong serve from the Cardinals was Lewis. Sets up Savitsky-Lin, and we are all tied in a 3-0 Ball State run.
A little bit of pressure. Ryan Lewis bringing that thing from the service line, gives Ball State an opportunity for a free ball, and they take advantage there. Savitsky-Lin crushes it. Not much NJIT can do with that one.
Service error is going to take us to our first real break here in set 2. So very interesting action between Ball State and NJIT here in the second. We'll come back with more volleyball after this. Set 2, NJIT just leading by a point. ESPN Plus glad to be with you for this men's volleyball match, early portion of the season, and both teams trying to find their own style, their rhythm here, just 3 or 4 matches into the year.
Yeah, and again, NJIT, they're certainly getting a good look at who they are with the teams that they've played, but again, they're running a little different lineup tonight, and credit to them. Again, they've done a nice job here in this second set, settling in after a fast, tough one there in the first set. So they're certainly doing a nice job here, putting some pressure on the Cardinals in this second set.
Yeah, they wanted to challenge themselves to start the season. Where do we need to be, basically, was the conversation from this coaching staff. And you play Hawaii, you play Ohio State and Ball State, and then they'll go to Purdue-Fort Wayne tomorrow. It gives you a good look at where you might line up across the country this season. NJIT goes back in front, but still yet to win a set this season. This is the best chance they've had at a set victory, though. Yeah,
and I think if they can get Andre Alesia to play like he has been thus far consistently, a little bit more help on the offensive end, they can certainly pressure some people.
Go to Lewis, and Lewis ties us up once again.
I like that. Machado reverses the flow. He's coming towards the left front side of the court, kicks that thing back, does a nice job. Lewis takes a nice high swing, gets a tool, gets a kill for the Cards.
Savitsky-Lin. Long run for Urinyuk. Nowak, hey, he changed up the pace there, and it fooled Ball State.
Yeah, again, and that's one of the things you'll see if you haven't watched the men's game a lot. In this triple block, it tends to leave some more holes. So if you're crafty, if you can move that thing around, good things can happen.
Found a wide open place on the court. That was the 7th kill for Nowak. He is tied with Alesia for a team high and a match high 7 kills. Patrick Rogers also with 7 for Ball State. Both teams hitting closer to each other in this set. 300 for Ball State, 250 for NJIT.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I wasn't expecting Ball State to hit near 700 for 3 sets, and certainly was expecting NJIT to find some rhythm. As they've done, they've been a lot better here in the second set.
Double block couldn't slow down that swing, and Nowak's the leading killer in this match now with 8.
Yeah, and I will say, again, he's done a really nice job. Sometimes it's helpful to be 6'10", and you see there some rhythm, kind of get out of rhythm. The set's a little wide, he does a nice job just hitting flat and finds a way to tool that block.
Machado looking out for Lewis. No touch, it's long, point NJIT. Now we're getting to that time of the match where you might start thinking about some timeouts if you're Ball State.
Yeah, certainly early on here, I'm sure Coach Iandalo probably trying to let these guys play a little bit, see if they can work through some of these things.
All the way across on the set. Lewis, the kill. That is a very long set from Machado.
Yeah, unbelievable, great set from Machado there. Locates that thing high, just giving Lewis a chance to get his feet there. And NJIT is going to want that one back. Lewis didn't get a ton on it, just hit it where they weren't, and gives the Cardinals another point here.
Rogers, late service error in set 2 for Ball State. NJIT back in front by 2. And they'll send one of their freshmen to the line, Alex Hines.
Yeah, Rogers going to want that one back. Tried to go a little too much off speed, kind of cut that thing across the court.
5 points separating the Highlanders from their first set victory of the season. Nowak peppers the back row. Another high set from Machado. He tracks this down. Ball State free ball, still alive. Love the extra effort. Lewis, longest rally of the night, goes to Ball State.
Done a great job there. Ball State finds a way. Machado runs that thing down. Lewis puts it over to give him another chance, and then Ball State, you see, kind of a scramble play there. Lewis gets off quick. Machado goes back to him. Kind of on a quick set there behind on the red. Lewis finds the outside of that block, gives the Cardinals a point on a big rally there.
Wint is in the match for the first time. Got around the blocker there. Really nifty kill on the outside for Parker Moorhead.
Yeah, really nice job there. Again, that ball's a little tight. He goes up, puts that thing on the blocker's hand. As soon as he feels it, throws it off. Does a nice job there.
And that's going to force a Ball State timeout to talk some things over. What do you think they're talking about in that huddle over there?
Yeah, I think just finding a way to put some points together. I mean, NJIT's been able to just kind of keep this spread as they've gone throughout a point or two ahead here since kind of the early part of that set. You know, Ball State was able to string a lot of points together in that first set from the service line. They've got NJIT off. And then they were able to take care of it when they got it back. And NJIT's done a better job of handling the ball, scoring, and putting a little more pressure. They've gone a little off speed, kind of hit some short serves in some of these different rotations, and they put a little bit more pressure on Ball State to do something different. And so I think they've done a better job in that realm, but they've also, I think, outperformed Ball State in this set in some of these kind of bang-bang plays. Certainly Ball State won that previous long rally, but NJIT's done a really nice job of scoring, finding a way on some balls that maybe they weren't in a great situation on.
And almost dead even in this second set. That hitting percentage deadlocked at 280. And yeah, a couple more opportunities for NJIT. The serving's been a little bit better for Ball State, but no aces in this set. And then the block has been the big positive for BSU.
Yeah, it's what's kind of kept them close there. And certainly, you know, I think if you ask either of these teams, you know, hit 280, they'd probably like to hit a lot. Would like to hit better than that. NJIT certainly better than the first set. But again, Ball State's just had more trouble finding some rhythm in this set, and credit to NJIT again. They've done a lot better job of keeping their foot on the gas here in this second set.
Fans trying to induce an error. Rogers just a little bit too far, and now Ball State in a danger zone in set 2.
Yep. Ball State, nice job there. They get the pass they want. Run Rogers on the bick, which he's usually very efficient on it, hits it really well. Gets a little in front of it. That set was probably just a little bit farther back than what he thought, and the error's a little long there.
Nowak has been the difference maker in set 2 for the Highlanders. Ball State looking for a response. Basilio knocks it off the block and out.
Yeah, much needed for the Cards there. Again, handle that pass. Go to Basilio this time on the left, does a nice job. using the hands, getting that ball to go off the block, giving the Cardinals an opportunity here. And Ryan Lewis has done a great job from the service line, so we'll see if he can stay rolling here for the Cards.
Line drive serve, good first touch. Moorhead gonna get a chance. Basilio in traffic. Nowak, he just erases some mistakes for NJIT.
Yeah, really nice job again. I've been very impressed with what he's done in this match comparative to what he's done previously. And again, got away with that one. You see that kind of on the replay. He's been hitting high seam. That was low seam, but just hits in between those blockers. And he's been doing a really nice job taking care of that ball. He has scored a ton when NJIT's been out of system off the net and has done a really nice job thus far for the Highlanders.
Forces the second and final timeout of this set for Ball State. Nowak with 9 kills now, and he's hitting .538 in the match. And already, you know, if this match goes to at least 4 sets, you're starting to look at his career high of 19 kills and thinking this is one of the best matches he's had so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think certainly it's probably what they've wanted out of him, you know, thus far. And again, I think he's done a nice job taking care of some tough balls. But that one, you know, Ball State knows that NJIT's going there on that ball, and he just takes a big, heavy swing, confident swing. And certainly as you start to score and feel good, your confidence goes up. You just start to get into rhythm more, feel like you can score more. And he's done a really nice job carrying the weight of this offense here thus far for the Highlanders.
Nowak from Poland, one of 7 players from a different country with the international background for Coach Goncalves. He has certainly gone to that in recruiting as well. Now the roster limits may change some things moving forward, but that international flavor certainly a big part of the men's volleyball program at NJIT. Cards are out of timeouts. Outside look, and this one is blocked. Alicia puts NJIT at set point.
Got a nice job there. Again, Ball State handles that thing, got all options. Alicia's really one-on-one there. Lewis just hits a low seam shot. Alicia just sends it back there, gives the Highlanders 4 set points here. Set 2.
Gerard on the first attempt, and Ball State at least living to see another point. And it will be Basilio to try and rattle off at least 3 in a row for the Cardinals here. Alicia got the touch. Point Highlanders, and NJIT responds in set 2. NJIT 296 hitting percentage in set 2 compared to 214 for Ball State. Victor Nowak with 9 kills leads all attackers, and the Highlanders tie it up at 1, headed to set 3. Jared Matheny, Tucker Bidding, glad to be with you. Really good first set from Ball State, but NJIT had the response there in set 2. What was the biggest difference?
Yeah, did a really nice job. I mean, I just thought they were way more consistently handling the ball. I mean, they did a better job from the service line, certainly passed a lot better, but I just can't say enough about the way that they took care of the ball, especially when it wasn't so great. And kind of the flip for Ball State, had a lot of chances where they were in a good spot and either didn't handle the pass, had a misconnection, got blocked. So credit to NJIT. I mean, that's a tough way to come in and lose a first set, but they responded. They put their foot on the gas coming out of the second set there, and they put some pressure on the Cards.
And probably because of the way they played the first 3 matches, the opponents they've played in the first 3 matches, they've had some fight here tonight against Ball State as we check out your stats through the first 2 sets here tonight. And I mean, about as even as you can get in the kill department at least, but the big thing for Ball State, can they make an even bigger impact on the block to try and, you know, win sets 3, 4, maybe 5.
Certainly, and it's hard when you look at 2 sets and you see those numbers and it's like, man, that's crazy, but there was a big discrepancy there in the first set.
Yeah.
And so sometimes when you're looking at the whole of the stats, it's hard to tell, but Ball State got a number of blocks there in that set as well, but Again, they did not do a very good job of taking care of the ball. They had a lot of opportunities to score with multiple options and did not take advantage. And NJIT on the flip side, when they got those opportunities, they scored, and they scored often there in the second set.
And you don't expect Ball State to hit 688 every set, but dropping from 688 down to 214 made the difference there.
Yeah, just way too low. Yeah, for sure. But they've got to be in that 300 range. I mean, that's men's volleyball that, you know, especially if you're a good passing team, you should side out at a pretty high level. So I would assume Coach Ayendal is talking a lot about making sure that they're staying dialed in. We talked about that, thought they did a much better job tonight as a, you know, compared to last night coming out in that first set, but a little bit of a kind of dip there in the second set. NJIT was all over it. That was one of our keys to victory tonight for Ball State, was trying to stay consistent throughout the match. They'll be happy with how set 3 begins with the ace from Machado. Yeah, gonna need Machado to kind of get back in this thing. He plays with a lot of fire, but when there's misconnections or when things don't go their way, you know, sometimes that can be hard to play with. So you know, he does a nice job there from the service line, and I love the fire he plays with. Hopefully you'll see him get back in that rhythm, because that will be a big plus for Ball State from the service line if he can start ripping that ball. And his fire hopefully rubbing off on everybody else on the floor for Ball State. Alicia first touch. They'll go to the far side. Good chance to attack for Ball State. Alicia, point NJIT, as Charette just couldn't quite put it away. Yeah, just not a great, again, we talked about that in the outset, finding some rhythm and consistency through the middle of the court on offense. Again, a little bit of a misconnection. That's why you see that. Charette kind of doesn't get a lot on it. And again, NJIT taking advantage of those opportunities, and they get the kill there. Service here from the freshman Urinyuk. From New Jersey, 6'4" freshman setter, and getting his first collegiate start here in Muncie tonight after just a couple of sets played against Hawaii and Ohio State, but trying to push a different button this evening for the coaching staff at NJIT. Nowak kept up by Rogers. Machado setting far side Basilio. Nowak again, he's rejected. Lewis is pumped up. Nice job there. See, trying to rip that thing off the line. Lewis is just completely clamped on him there. Sends it back. Card's got a couple blocks here to start this third set. 10.5 total blocks compared to just 2 for NJIT. That hits our line judge. It is out point Cardinals, and this looks a little bit more like the first set did, and we'll see an early timeout from NJIT because of it. Yeah, just, again, good service pressure there from Ball State, and get a couple opportunities there, getting some good blocks, coming out on fire here in the third set. Start to set 3 for Ball State as they lead 5-1 over NJIT. Out of the Highlander timeout, we'll see Rogers serve for the Cardinals. Lopez setting. Lewis again, and Ball State's got this crowd behind us fired up right now in set 3. Yeah, they're giving them some energy. They're giving NJIT a hard time here too, but again, I think you're just seeing the type of focus and effort from Ball State in this set here early that you saw in the first set. So doing a nice job. Rogers goes long there. Ryan Lewis saw it there, now with 9 kills. He ties Alicia as well as Nowak with a match high 9 kills. Here is Andre with the serve. Machado, good set attempt at least, but Ball State can't pick up a point. Kind of right there for the taking. Yeah, I was just thinking I would expect there, especially after that second set, for Machado to get Rogers involved a little bit more, especially when they get in some of the situations where they really need to score. He did go to him a couple times in the second set, but not as often as you would have thought. So certainly had an opportunity there, just didn't quite make the connection.
Alicia, jump serve. Machado back setting. There's Rogers, point Cardinals. Oh no, point NJIT.
Ball in there, but Rogers just over the 10-foot line, 3-meter line, depending on who you're talking to about volleyball there. But both the same. If you're in a back row spot, you can't attack in front of that 10-foot line if you're jumping to hit that ball over the net. So Rogers just on the edge of that line. NJIT gets the point.
And Ball State gets it right back with a kill from Basilio. Well, just 3 points separating the Cardinals and Highlanders early. It does feel like Ball State looks a little bit more crisp to begin this third set than they did in the second. Charette with the high toss. Attack air from the Highlanders, point Ball State. Moorhead a little too strong.
Yeah, good pass. A couple options there. Thought he was in rhythm. Just a little bit of a mishandle there on the swing. Tries to go high hands. Misses long.
Nowak against the 3 blockers. Rogers kept it up. Machado sets it out for Basilio. Heck of a point by Ball State.
There you go. You see a little bit of that Rogers magic there, making a play off a really nice swing for Nowak. And Machado lays it up, and then Basilio with the finish, making Rogers proud there with that off-speed throw off the hands. Great point there from the Cardinals.
Not as bang-bang as you can get from 1-2 to 3. Service error for Ball State. Cards leading by 4 in the third as Alex Hines goes back to serve for NJIT. Snaps a 3-0 scoring run from Ball State. Lewis, Rogers, Basilio, that trio has just been remarkable for Ball State.
Yeah, really nice job there in Lewis. I mean, even though they're playing fast here, that ball is not a mile high. He just goes right over the top. Not a lot you can do there if you're defending the ball in the backcourt there for the Highlanders.
Good chance for Ball State. Machado down the middle and just missed on the swing for Savitsky Lynn.
Again, you've seen that, just misconnections down the middle of the court there, especially with the middles and a little bit on the Bic. But
Machado, and go back to Savitsky Lynn. Basilio down the line, another chance for Ball State. Rogers from the back row. Lopez keeps it alive. Good dig. Rogers. One too many chances for number 20 in red.
Yeah, got a nice job there. You can tell Machado, I do appreciate, and he had that misconnection with Savitsky Lynn, goes right back to him. NJT does a nice job getting a touch on it, and then you see a good rally there from both sides, and you get a repeat there. Gonna have a challenge.
Yeah, not quite sure exactly what the challenge is here from Coach Goncalves, but was talking to his players on the floor, and they convinced him to challenge a potential line violation from the back row against Ball State.
Yeah, back row attack, so we'll see here. Rogers been called on one of these so far. It's a hard thing to see when you're on the other side of the court, so certainly saw something. Or maybe just using it as a timeout, but would be an odd one to challenge if you didn't think you had it.
Certainly the fire and passion is there, and that is the quickest review we've had so far tonight. Point Ball State. And the first loss of a challenge there for NJIT. Goes off the Jumbotron, point Ball State. The first touch from Alicia right into the air, and unfriendly bounce for NJIT.
Yeah, that's a hard one. Didn't look like it was going to get anything, and then just touched the edge of the speaker.
Yeah, not even really the Jumbotron. The speaker hanging off the Jumbotron is what it got. Block is home, Ball State again. Rogers wipes it away.
A really nice job there. I will say, as much as Savitsky-Lynn's probably been frustrated with having a little bit of a lack of connection there through the middle of the court offensively, it feels like he's been involved in every single block at the pins, got one in the middle as well, so he's done a really nice job helping this block for the Cardinals.
Basilio with another strong serve, and there is another strong show from the block. Machado swings himself. How about it? Doesn't swing often, but when he does, big time results.
And Adair there does a nice job putting that thing up on the net. Again, when those setters are front row, you really want to be aggressive, especially when you've got a big physical lefty up there like Machado does a nice job putting that ball away, giving the Cardinals another point here in the third.
A second timeout for NJIT and extends the scoring run to 4 in a row for Ball State. The Cards have found a rhythm in set 3, but again, Tucker, we talked about trying to be consistent, and that's the challenge for this coaching staff moving forward, at least, is how do we come out, play the same volleyball in set 1 as we do in sets 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, it's the struggle of every coach. That's
easier said than done, obviously.
Yeah, ever been in it, you know, and I think, again, seeing some good service pressure from the line, that helps, but they've gotten some touches on some balls, made some plays, and then much like NJIT in the second set, Ball State's done a nice job of making some plays, finishing points, finding a way to get a good spread here in this third set.
Not as clean in the hitting department as you can tell for NJIT, down in the negatives in this set with 5 errors already, but Ball State again adding to their block total, 3 of them in this set. And, you know, for NJIT, you got Nowak, who's listed at 6'10", but he hasn't been the one making an impact on the block. It just feels like NJIT doesn't really have that out there right now.
Yeah, just haven't slowed a lot down. They've got a couple blocks there, but certainly not with the consistency that Ball State has thus far.
There is Nowak. Cross court kept alive. Long run from Machado. Ball State keeps the rally going. The joust won by the Highlanders. Renyuk, the freshman, wins that battle.
A nice job there by Renyuk. That's always an interesting one. A lot of times setters just have a really good percentage in winning those. If you can get on it second, a lot of times you've got some good force pushing back there. He does a nice job. Savitsky-Lynn will want that one back.
Attack air from Lewis and make it back-to-back points for the Highlanders out of the timeout. This is a group that play here tonight in Muncie. They'll play in Fort Wayne tomorrow, and then they will not leave the East Coast the rest of the season. Furthest west they travel is to Pennsylvania.
Certainly they've traveled enough miles already in the first week and a half to warrant that. My goodness. I wouldn't want to leave the coast either if I traveled to Hawaii, came back, and then had to promptly play 3 other matches. So good on them, but they're certainly going to be tested here after the first couple weeks.
Yeah, 10,000 miles to Hawaii and back, and then this weekend with all the travel, almost 1,500 miles. All of that, way more than the rest they'll go this season. The push, and it is a point for Rogers. A little bit more conversation happening at the net, too.
Yeah, friendly conversations usually. That one just looked like they wanted to call, but it looked like Rogers is probably outside the court there in the net. So no call on that one.
Missed wide. Fed Musu, good look at it, but another attack error for NJIT, who's now hitting negative 190 for the set.
Yeah. There's too many errors here. They've had some opportunities to take some good swings and just haven't been able to capitalize like they did in the second set.
Savitsky, Lind at Lopez. Nowak, a missile of his own, but again, just a hair too far. So close to that back line, but not as precise for NJIT here in the third.
It can be hard, you know, you're just trying to find a way to get a point, hit a good shot, and force you to press a little bit. Certainly feels like that's what's going on here with the Highlanders in this one.
Alicia, when they needed it, he gets the point, and now got to find some sort of run if you're NJIT. That stops another 4-0 Ball State run.
He had a nice job. He muscled this thing because Machado was all over it. Surratt gets in there late, gets a touch, but good swing, heavy arm there. Gets the point for the Highlanders.
First touch coming back over. Good chance for NJIT on the attack. Swing for the setter. Machado goes outside for Rogers. Off the block, long and good. Point Ball State. 6 points to get for the Cardinals to go in front 2-1.
Yeah, a nice job there from Rogers. Again, Ball State playing quick. It's creative, hitting high. Finds a way to get that ball off the hands out behind the court there. Don't see that a lot. Gives the Cards another point and a 10-point spread again late here in the set.
Andre Alicia again. Now he has surpassed double-digit kills in this match. Just tied Patrick Rogers for the match high with 11 kills. I'm surprised with as little time as he's been around the team, how much of an impact he's had.
He's done a nice shot. That's a great swing again. That ball's a little wide of where he's at. Gets a great shot into the corner. It's a hard ball, really hard ball to defend when you're hitting high deep in the corner there.
Beautiful serve from Urinyuk, gets the ace for NJIT. That is the first ace of the night for the Highlanders.
Yeah, and I will say he's done a nice job from the service line. He's put some pretty consistent pressure on the Cardinals here tonight. Another great serve there, kind of cuts that thing across the court, gives Rogers trouble, gets the ace.
And then follows it up with an error. So 5 points away for Ball State from moving in front 2-1 in this match. A little bit cleaner this set from the Cardinals, but I think really the biggest difference has been that NJIT hasn't found their own rhythm in this set. Alicia against a couple of blockers, long run, Rogers tracks it down. Machado has to send it over. And then an attack error for NJIT.
Been the story here in this set for the Highlanders, just struggling even when they're getting opportunities, getting good looks, just not able to find the court in this set.
Bruno Figueiredo is going to come in and replace Urinyuk at the setter spot. Figueiredo is the one who got the start in the first 3 matches of the year for the Highlanders. We'll see him not get a chance there as that overpass is delivered by Charette.
Good mix there from Rogers from the end line. Get a couple of those kind of hybrid float serves out of this look, and then goes after one, gets the overpass. Surratt's able to put it away there for the Cards.
Here is Figueiredo, first set for him. Now he goes outside to Nowak. Free ball for Ball State. Machado, a lot of options. He finds Charette. Cardinals just 2 points away. One-on-one, and Hines couldn't close the door. Rogers with the error. That erases another 4-0 Ball State run. That's the third time in this set they've done that.
Yeah, and again, they've had some better pressure from the service line, much like they did in the first set. It gives you an opportunity to get some spreads in those leads and run some points off in a hurry.
Set point for Ball State. Everybody in Worthen to their feet. Will Patterson in to serve. Set point for Ball State. Patterson between the hands of Alicia, and Ball State closes out an impressive third set against the Highlanders. Cardinals hit 333 in the set compared to negative 133 for NJIT. One set win away for Ball State from improving to 3-0. And he has been really good tonight for Ball State. 11 kills and a .533 hit percentage for Patrick Rogers.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but probably pretty standard operating procedure here for him. And really, the volume, I mean, he's hitting over 500, 11 kills in 3 sets. I mean, he'd probably have 15 or 16 if they go to him a little more, but you can see Ball State's trying to be balanced. But you're going to see him later in the year when they get in some tight, heavy matches. He's going to get a lot of the workload. And, you know, you say preseason player of the year, likely would have been player of the year in the conference last year had he not gotten hurt. So lots of expectations for him, but he knows it, he's aware of it, and he's done a great job of kind of taking over that leadership role this season for the Cards.
Yeah, two-time member of the first team in the MIVA. He was also twice an honorable mention by the AVCA, so it tells you how good Rogers is, and he just continues to add to the long list of great players that have come through Muncie. And, you know, Coach Iannola talked about the fact that it adds to the recruiting a little bit to get guys here to Muncie, the rich history with everything. And, you know, you go over to the Shondell Center and practice in there, and there's nowhere, I don't think, maybe Hawaii, you know, some of those places, but there's not rich volleyball, men's volleyball history in a lot of places. Ball State's one of them, and they continue to try and build on that rich history. Back to begin set 4. Machado, long set behind him for Rogers, who went down the line but just missed.
Rogers just misses there. That's a tough set. Again, Machado trying to reverse that. I like the idea. Sets it just a little tighter. Rogers tries to get on that quick, airs right. Just out, but I like that decision there from Machado to try to get that thing across the court to Rogers.
They'll give Rogers another chance, and he's got the kill, all even at 1 to begin the 4th set. 12th kill for Patrick Rogers. What did NJIT do in set 2 that you need to see here in the 4th?
Well, certainly they got a little help from Ball State, just not playing very efficiently. But I just thought they handled the ball better. Certainly they struggled with that in the 1st and 3rd sets. Ball State put some good pressure on them, but they also won some of those situations where maybe they were off the net a little bit or in transition where you don't have all options. They did a good job of scoring in some of those situations. And even when Ball State had good opportunities, they didn't take advantage of them. NJIT they were scoring on those balls. And so, you know, I think it's hard when Ball State's really serving with some pressure. NJIT's not able to have multiple options. That's when they're going to be in a tough spot. So they can handle the pass, be able to run the big, run the middle. I think they'll be in some good spots here.
Well, we saw Figueiredo come in. This off the block and long point for the Highlanders, but it is Urinyuk back on the floor for NJIT in this 4th set to run that setter position for the Highlanders.
Yeah, and I see Victor Novak there gets a big swing off the block, gets a score, just a lot of emotion on him. You could see struggled at the end of that 3rd set. He wanted to get going there, and just you see kind of a sigh of relief, but some emotion out of him. I really like that, trying to get his guys going back in this match here in the 4th set.
Well, we've talked about the fact that, you know, 8 underclassmen played at Hawaii in that opening weekend. That means some of your underclassmen are going to have to be leaders and vocal leaders on the floor, even though Nowak is just a sophomore as he picks up the kill there. They're going to need to turn to him to be that vocal leader as the year goes on.
Yeah, and right on cue there, really nice shot. Hits that thing high into that seam down the line. That's a really hard ball to defend. Again, we'll see. He's got a couple kills here early. We'll see if they go back to him, try to get him going back up to where he was going those first couple sets. For them to be able to stay in this thing, put some pressure on the Cardinals.
Yeah, because it did feel like when he was going in set 2, that was when they were at their best.
Yeah, and it opens it up, gives some other guys opportunities to go on one, but he did a really nice job scoring when he was in front of 2 or 3 blockers too as well, which is a big, big deal. So we'll see if he can get it going.
Tried to change pace there against the bigger block up front and threw that one into the net. So Ball State doubled up on NJIT early in the 4th. Cardinals dropped a set last night, ended up winning in 4. First Division I competition of the year, though, tonight. Nowak just missed as he tried to go cross court.
Yeah,
that's a lot of speed.
Tough shot there, trying to cut that ball right at the tee, right at the 10-foot line there. That's a really tough shot. Didn't miss by much, but Ball State sets up in a good spot, kind of forced him to try to hit that shot, just misses wide.
Do you think that's the toughest shot in volleyball right there? Certainly on the list.
Yeah, I mean, trying to hit that cut shot, you know, if you're, you know, on this side, you're kind of hitting that wide angle from the outside. When you're coming in, you're hitting on the left side. When the outside's hit, you're coming in. Typically, that ball's in front of you, and it's a little easier to hit that. Hitting it from your outside arm, hitting it across is tough. He's certainly physical enough to hit it, and he's hit it in previous matches. He likes to hit it, but it's a tough shot to hit consistently.
Just so many players on the floor for Ball State who can go and get something done, and Cardinals continue to add to this lead in the 4th.
There you see Savitsky Lynn get another opportunity. Little better connection between him and Machado on that one. He's able to find some space there in the court, give the Cards another point here.
Basilio jump serve at Lopez. Highlanders get the point, and they've gone to the bench. Gustavo Churkanovic, who came in to serve in sets 1 and 2, and now Churkanovic actually picks up a kill here.
Yeah, nice job there, good swing. That's a tough ball, gets a triple block. It hits that high into that kind of line seam there between 2 defenders. Really nice shot.
One of 3 players on the roster from Brazil for NJIT. Patrick Rogers, 13th kill, leads everybody on the floor.
Yeah, just sneaks that one through there. NJIT is gonna want that one back. Rogers gets on it just a little bit before they get those hands across. Slips in front of him, gives Rogers the kill.
Savitsky Lind with a high toss. Alicia heads up. If you're seated courtside, that one's long. Point Ball State. They've got those cushy seats courtside, but that ball is coming right at you.
Yeah, athletic director Jeff Mitchell sitting down there, taking him back to his shortstop days. See if he's still got the hands.
Nowak, piece of the net coming back over. Go to the other side. Alicia blocked down. Charette with Machado to get that stuff.
Machado, nice job there. Alicia trying to go a little off speed there. Machado not having any of that, sends it back. Gives the Cardinals another point here and a spread up to 6 in this 4th set.
Machado averaged about half a block per set a season ago for Ball State. Honorable mention All-American, and he was part of the MIVA second team back in 2024. Add to the list of players from Brazil on the floor right now.
Yeah, a little friendly banter between those two, so.
No answer right there for NJIT, and you could see the frustration mounting on the other side of the net.
Yeah, and a nice job by Machado there. A high, tight pass. Goes up like he's going to set it, just turns his body, throws it down.
And yeah, Nowak frustrated after that point. Here is Machado, a little bit sliced to that serve. Nowak kissed it off the block and good, and that one had a little extra firepower behind it.
Yeah, certainly nice swing there. Rogers doesn't quite get where he wants to on that one. Nowak finds a tool and gets a kill for NJIT. Really needed. See if they can get him going here to close this gap in the fourth set.
Figueiredo back on the floor with that serve. And Rogers gets him right off the line.
And right on cue there, Rogers gets tooled, gets one back on the next point. Gives it right back to NJIT. Nice swing here.
Alicia's blocked. Basilio got his hands on it.
Yeah, tough spot there for Alasia. Sets high, wide to a righty on the right side. Just not a lot he could do with this. Basilio does a nice job getting all the way to the pin to kind of close that seam. And yeah, again, not much you can do there for Alasia. Tries to kind of sneak it through with no avail.
And same sort of thing there. There's just no room for him to put that ball into, and the Ball State block shows up again. Unbelievable from this Ball State block here in set 4. Cardinals trying to close out the Highlanders when we come back. NJIT trying to battle back, looking for win number 1 of the year for them. What's been a gauntlet of an early season schedule for the Highlanders. Nowak out of the timeout. Got it. Found a piece of the floor, and Nowak with his 13th kill here this evening.
Yeah, nice mix there. He's been trying to take some big swings on the left and the right there. Again, in that rotation 1, he's kind of in a different spot, but goes a little off speed, drops that ball in front of Basilio for the point.
There is Basilio coming right our way off that missile, and the Cardinals now single digits to get the win.
Basilio beats Nowak down the line there, doesn't quite get there. Rips one. Good hack there from Basilio, gives the Cards another point.
Great camera work by our crew. Appreciate everybody who's with us tonight on our ESPN broadcast. No touch and long point Ball State. And now if you're NJIT, are you starting to think about those timeouts?
Yeah, Cherkanovich again just trying to get a good rip off the block and misses a little bit out of rhythm. So yeah, certainly trying to get a pause here just to find some rhythm and opportunity to maybe get back in it.
Nowak off a back foot does get it over. Machado, Basilio, and it is blocked. Nowak makes up for it, gets the rejection.
Yeah, really nice job there, because Ball State kind of gets an easy one. Again, a misconnection from NJIT offensively, but Nowak with a great job getting those hands in there, big, long, gets in there, gets his stuff, sends that one back, gives NJIT another point. Again, they're trying to find something here in this set to give them a chance to get back in it.
A little bit too easy, though, for Ball State there, and Savitsky-Lin drops the hammer.
I think he's excited to get one there. The best connection him and Machado have had tonight. He buries one there, goes 5-hole. Not much you can do there if you're the defender. A nice swing.
5 kills and 5 blocks for Savitsky-Lin. Service error on the big swing from Lewis. Jason Harris in for the first time.
Just going to see Jason Harris out here for Ball State. Lots of things to like about this kid. He can absolutely fly. So we'll see if we get an opportunity to see him attack the ball here for the Cardinals.
Here he is, and there it is. One swing, 1 kill. Hello, Jason Harris.
Yeah, no surprises there. What a anticipated Machado trying to get him the ball. He takes a rip, and now We're gonna see one of the captains here for the Cards, Griff Satterfield, come in, finish this match off at the center position for the Cardinals.
Jason Harris, 6'6", sophomore from Pennsylvania. Redshirt sophomore on the outside, and NJIT gonna burn one of those final 2 timeouts. Ball State just needs 6 points to improve to 3-0, and then the next timeout they'll head to Phoenix for the First Point Collegiate Challenge, take on UCLA and Stanford, and it feels like the season really picks up from there for the Cardinals.
Yeah, we're gonna see. we're gonna see what they're about here when they go out west. Those are 2 really good programs, obviously, with a couple of, both of those teams have Player of the Year candidates on their rosters. So Ball State's going to get a great opportunity as they go out there in a really cool tournament that they put on. They get a lot of pub on that, and men's volley's done a great job of growing those things, trying to give them some opportunities to do those types of things. So 2 great challenges for the Cardinals coming up.
Then you got Maryville here at home, and then the old stomping grounds for Coach Iandola. He'll see Charleston in here on January 23rd. All those home matches here on ESPN+, and then conference season once we get into February. And Ball State picked to finish 3rd in the MIVA this year in a loaded, we were talking about it before the broadcast, Tucker, it is a loaded conference again this season.
Yeah, it'd be hard to predict that one, so we'll see.
Loyola ends up splitting with Hawaii, going 1-1 on the island. Response for NJIT out of the timeout with Nowak.
Nice job there. Rogers tries to hit that overpass. NJIT digs it, and then Nowak with another great high swing there on that D ball. That back row attack gives NJIT another point.
Satterfield, the captain, gets the kill.
How about it, Griff, coming out, throwing that thing down. Nice job from the setter coming in there, attacking that thing. Whew. Got that down in a hurry.
6'6" senior from Washington, and anytime he gets on the floor, this place is in a little bit of a frenzy. Nowak goes off speed, well kept alive by Lewis. Another chance for NJIT though. And there is the kill. Latkowski, newly into the match here in the 4th set, he picks up that point. Harrison Gerard back in, serving. He got the start for the first time this season. Raise the tape. Satterfield goes out to Rogers. Keep adding to the total for Patrick Rogers, his 15th kill.
Yeah, and no loss in rhythm here. Griff Satterfield comes in. Nice set there to Rogers. Keeps him in rhythm. Right on cue there for the preseason MIVA Player of the Year, getting that kill, keeping that spread in this score, helping the Cards get closer to a win here in set 4.
Nowak, long run. Lopez with a free ball. Satterfield, back row attack, just long. On a good swing from Harris. Talked about him flying. He got up there a little bit.
Yeah, just a little, probably a little lower than what he wanted there on that one. Rogers asking for a challenge, trying to get some help for Jason there, get him another kill.
Rolled off the tape and down, give the ace to Figueiredo. One of the only returners really from last year's roster for NJIT. He led the Highlanders with more than 750 assists last season. All 3 Brazilian-born players for the Highlanders have seen the floor tonight. 3 points to get for Ball State.
Pat Rogers just refusing to not try to attack a ball. That might have been the hardest position he was in all night. Finds a way to get a kill.
Rogers serving. Figueiredo going outside to Nowak. Another chance for him. Satterfield. Rogers off the block and good. Rather, that's Lewis off the block and good, and Ball State continues to inch closer. Lewis and Rogers both with double-digit kills for Ball State, and the Highlanders taking their final timeout of the match potentially, with Ball State up by 9, and the Cardinals hitting 450 in this fourth set.
Yeah, certainly, again, continuing to play with some good consistency and rhythm. Middles have been a little bit better. They've been able to score some in this set, and certainly no loss of offense, the setter chains, or with some of those substitutions that they've made here. So Ball State certainly looking to close it out here. NJT just trying to find a stoppage to give them an opportunity to try to find a way to claw back into this thing, even though the Cards are 2 sets away here from the match.
Check out the MIVA preseason poll. Loyola Chicago, just mentioned, went 1-1 at Hawaii. They picked to finish at the top of the table. Ohio State, Ball State, and Lewis. And you talked about it, Tucker. That McKendree team is not going to be an easy one to take down this year. It feels like there are really 5 strong teams at the top of the MIVA.
Yeah, really good. And I mean, you even look down there at Lindenwood. Shout out to my guy, Joe Koship, the head coach there. But they're always, always, always a tough match, especially when you got to go there. So the MIVA is just really strong, and I would have no prediction on the way that's going to fall out there. I think anybody in that kind of top 4 or 5 would have a chance to win this thing this season.
NJIT will see another MIVA opponent tomorrow. They'll be at Purdue Fort Wayne to wrap up this trip. As Rogers, why not? He's got the ace, and it is match point for Ball State.
Adding to the point total there for Rogers. And again, you'll see that it mixes those speeds, and then when he rips one and lets it go, really feels like it gets on you in a hurry.
Service error from Rogers, maybe a little too antsy there to get that final point. Alacia serves. Ball State match point number 2. Satterfield for Harris. Another swing for Harris. This one's good. And the Cardinals are 3-0 to begin the new year. And they love celebrating with Jason Harris down there.
Yeah, it does a nice job, and really NJIT gets a dig on that thing. Good job by Harris to kind of pop up, put that ball away for the match, give the Cards good finish there to a 4-set win against NJIT.
Ball State hits 409 in that 4th set to get the win, and they hold NJIT in the match to .080 in the hitting percentage. So overall, the block was kind of the story for Ball State tonight.
Yeah, really did a nice job. I mean, we're pressuring NJIT all night. Certainly they ended up with 15.5 blocks in 4 sets is significant, but slowed a lot of attacks down as well. Forced NJIT, especially it felt like in that 3rd and 4th set, to try to be perfect. Ended up making a lot of errors, and that was really the story here tonight.
Set 2, something to build from for NJIT, but Ball State just the better team at home here tonight. So the Cardinals improved to 3.